Food fans, Dollar Chef here. Welcome to this episode of The Dollar Chef. Tonight is garlic buttered foot-long sandwiches, sub sandwiches. So, tasty one. I like this one a lot. Ingredients first. Got ourselves 3 garlic breads, each $1, so $3 right there. Pepperoni, $1. All these packets are $1. Turkey, chicken, salami. About 50 cents worth of cheese of the provolone we're going to use out of here, and about 50 cents of the Munster cheese out of this package. And whole head of lettuce, $1. It's a couple days old, and I'm actually going to show you how to deal with the outside of the lettuce here in a second too. And some miscellaneous tomatoes and onions. That's pretty much it. So cutting close on this one, $3, $7, $8, $8.50, $9, and about $9.50. But we made it within budget. On that note, I realized that there's always going to be some miscellaneous stuff. I've added in a few other videos, also this one too. It's not like you're going to use $1 worth of Italian dressing or $1 worth of mayonnaise or whatever else. So those things I'm going to talk about and how much they cost to get one time, they're all going to be probably $1. These are both $1 each. And actually that's the bread going off right now, 1 second. So I try to time this to where the bread will be done right at the same time we're moving here, so it's working out. Last quick thought was, these other miscellaneous in this video from now on, I'm going to go over the main ingredients that are actually necessary for that exact meal. In this case, $9.50 worth of things we need here. I'm not going to talk anymore about the extra stuff. Just assume that the extra stuff is probably $1 a piece. Again, we're going to use a little bit of this Italian dressing, a little bit of the mayonnaise. We're also going to bring in extra stuff, like which you'll get good at when you do a lot of these meals, is knowing how much you need of a can and saving a little extra for the next day and the next meal. For example, we had a little bit of spaghetti sauce left over from the pita pizzas. So we're going to use this instead of cracking up a new one, which I would have had to do, and using half a jalapeno to spice up the sandwiches a little bit. So leave that right there. Be right back. And I might also mention, I'm also actually doing 2 things at once, so if you get really good at this, I'm actually doing 2 meals at once for 2 videos. There's also biscuits in the oven, so I'm basically doing the biscuits and gravy video and the buttered garlic foot-long sub video at the same time. So when you get good at this, you'll start to see that when you crank up the oven, get it going, it's good to do 2 things at once if you can, maybe even 3 things at once. And so we're being that efficient tonight. Okay, so the bread's ready. The oven would normally be turned off right now, so go ahead and turn it off, but in this case I'm going to keep it going because I'm doing the biscuits also for the other video. Anyhow, let's stay on time here. Obviously, the bread would have been the part you didn't see here. Pretty simple. Crack open the bread, throw it on the baking sheet over there, the cookie sheet. All 3 pieces. Just follow the directions on the bag. 12 minutes later or so, depending on whether you need to thaw it first or not. But anyway, just do what it says in the bag. Get them cooked, get them baked rather, and they're ready to go. Actually, what I was going to say about, the one thing I was going to say about the bread and the bags is another handy tool I have is a kitchen scissors for just cutting things open quickly. Instead of trying to rip stuff open, this saves me a lot of time. So just cut, 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 and get moving. So again, cheap, grab one of those. Not as important as your knife, but nice to have around. Saves me a lot of time. Okay, all this stuff basically is pretty straightforward, especially if you've been watching me for a while with the other videos. One of the things tonight that I want to go over is how to deal with lettuce. I bought 2 heads of lettuce about actually 6 days ago. I probably used the other one a couple days ago. Now, the outside of lettuce, even when it's brand new, is usually going to be tainted a little bit. The simple fix to this, and also the simple fix to not having to wash completely and thoroughly the lettuce, is just literally ripping off the outside and not worrying about it. It's $1, at least just kind of like the skin of an onion. Get rid of that complete outside part, and then use a knife, or you can just shred it with your hands. That's pretty much all you're after. You're after decent chunks of lettuce that we're going to use in the sandwich. You get the point. And it's basically clean that way because you're obviously in the middle of the lettuce, not the outside. Now, if you want to go further and wash it, just don't get it, just don't make it limp and everything with too much water, especially hot water. So this to me is clean enough. You could wash it. You could wash it if you wanted to. Definitely wash it if you're going to use the outside of the lettuce head. But if it's like this, it's good enough for me. You're probably safe. Again, if you want to wash it, go ahead, but don't wash it too long or in hot water. So lettuce is done. At least for right now. Got enough for our sandwiches. We actually need a couple of these. That's for the other video, so disregard that. Just trying to stay on top of time here. Show you the cool moves here in a second. Gonna make this come out tasting just that much better. First of all, just simply getting those garlic breads make a huge difference. And again, they're only $1. One of the biggest things about these videos, I might harp on stuff over and over again, but it's to get you to learn how to do certain things that are going to save you time and money, including where to shop, and even while you're there, how to shop. A lot of these places will have different brands, and if you know which ones to pick, you can spend the same amount of money but get the better brand or the better product. I could have bought a foot-long regular sub, or I could buy the garlic one if I know where to look at. Now, I actually cut that way and I didn't have to do that, but it doesn't matter. Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter. Just imagine I would have left this full. There's no problem just slicing that way. I've already cut it, but whatever. You want to cut tonight your tomatoes and onions deli thin, just like the deli meat. That way it lays easier on the bread, unlike other videos where we actually keep it pretty thick. I'm actually going to cut this one, save these other guys. So I want to show you the way I was supposed to do it a second ago. Probably shouldn't be doing 2 videos at once. So get it thin. This other guy. Show you the right way. Might be on a budget. Doesn't mean you can't do it the right way. There. Try to go for that. Tomatoes are done. If you've watched me go over this stuff too much already in other videos, even though some of this is important, like I said, even the style of cut that you're doing, in this case a deli cut, is important. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to listen to me all the way through. But if you've seen these parts before, obviously a lot of these videos you can just fast forward, jump to a different part of the video and pick up from there. Onions. Thus far you've seen me for other videos cut them in chunky pieces or in average sized pieces. Tonight we're going to go pretty thin. Again, it has to do with layering on the sandwich. You don't want a huge piece of onion hitting your taste buds. You want everything mixed together equally and laying flat. As you can see, I'm doing this all with the same knife. Always had this knife for about 10 years. Doesn't matter if I'm cutting bread, cutting onions, cutting fruit, melons, apples, doesn't matter. Like I'm doing here, just use the same bowl, throw everything in there. It's all going in the same place anyway. And the biscuits for the separate video, not to confuse you guys, it's about to go off, so I'm going to stop that in a second. Also, we're going to do some jalapenos. Also spice it up a little bit for at least a couple of these sandwiches, maybe not the third one. I know 2 of us will probably want it. Alright, biscuits are ready. Oven's off. Back to it. Again, nice and thin. As thin as you can get it, without being too crazy. You're not a 5-star chef, I'm not one either. But we still be smart in the kitchen. Alright, put that over here. Now, what now? Here's my little trick. Normally, I would dump this in a bowl. I guess I will. what I actually do right now is I actually pour it right in the can because I would like to save a bowl, but we're doing a video. So I have a little extra. I dumped some of the Italian dressing into the spaghetti sauce that I hopefully have left over from something else that I did previously. If not, I have to crack up a new one, use a portion of it, and then save the rest of that one for something else. And you'll get good at that too, just kind of leapfrogging leftover portions of some other meal that you had thought up. What is this for? It's for a very subtle layer of a sauce on top of the garlic butter on the sandwiches. Tastes good. Other things would interfere with this type of sandwich, by the way. A lot of mustard, things like that. You don't want to. I advise you don't do that. I advise you go with a light Italian taste to it. The only other thing I think is okay to put on it, which is more of a neutral thing, is mayonnaise. And I recommend, if you can, get the olive oil mayonnaise dressing. It actually has a hint of olive oil. You can probably see it here. They have the upside down bottles in these ones. The olive oil type mayonnaise. It basically tastes like it is mayonnaise. It just has a little hint of olive oil. If you can't, just go with the regular mayonnaise. You're fine. I like this one for pretty much everything I do. Okay, how much dressing? I don't know. Do what feels right. Get some of it in there. Don't saturate it though. Get some in there. That way it goes from spaghetti sauce to kind of an Italian sauce that tastes different. You kind of won't know what the person did to make it taste like this, but this is what it is. And you're like, okay, that's, you did something to it to the sandwich. It tastes good. You just mix it. This is light. It's not fatty. And this is going to give the sandwich that little bit of moisture you need when you're taking a bite, and it's not going to be dry then. Not that it'd be dry in this particular sandwich anyway, but that's also why you want to do it on a sandwich. That's also why a lot of times mayonnaise comes into play, although mayonnaise is definitely fattier, is to give you that moisture you need in the sandwich. Okay. Let's go ahead and on the sandwiches. We're going to do one in front of you. I'm not going to do all three. Simple as this. Grab one at a time. Remember, all these guys are footlongs. I'm going to go a little bit of mayonnaise in this, go for it. I'm going to skip it on this one. And when I say a little, it's no more than the sauce for sure. But hey, you want to do your own thing, do your own thing. That's cool too. But I would limit it to this Italian spaghetti mix here and the mayonnaise. Again, don't saturate it, otherwise then you're going to mess up the bread. You just want it light. That's really about it. Next up would be the first thing. This is the bottom layer. In sandwich building, you want to do the first thing you want to taste first, and the thing you'd have the hardest time tasting if it was somewhere else stacked in the sandwich. In this case, we're going to go with the cheeses, usually always. We're going to do some Munster. The order you want it in is up to you. In this case, it's Munster and provolone. Cheese is done. Don't get too crazy with the cheese. That's plenty. Next up, what I tend to do is I do the weakest meats first, because you're going to be able to taste the pepperoni and the salami no matter where it is in the sandwich. So I would go in this case with the turkey and the chicken first. Turkey probably being lighter even. Again, remember we're making 3 sandwiches. That's the example tonight. So all of this here is intended for 3 sandwiches. So I'm going to take a third of each and layer the sandwich one at a time. One second. Alright, turkey's up. 1/3, here we go. Here we go. Next, chicken. Grab a third, just eyeball it. A little bit off, who cares? Next up, you actually have a choice here, and I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it the other way, the way I kind of mess around sometimes with. I'm going to do a meat layer, and then I'm going to do some other stuff that I can lay. Here's the reason why I kind of do it, like the onions. There's kind of 2 reasons why I do this. One, that first weak meat layer creates a foundation. So flat things like the onions can lay on. And the secondary meat layer, that's the stronger meats, stronger tasting meats like the salami and the pepperoni, will lay on top of that layer right there, keeping it in place. You know, a lot of times stuff will fall out and it gets kind of annoying. In this case, we're going to say that this particular sandwich was the one that we wanted some jalapenos in. So boom, there's jalapenos. It's a little bit of spice, maybe a little more. Next up, our strong meats. Cut it close enough. There we go. Get our third. pepperoni. It's a lot of good meat too for under 10 bucks. I mean, this is great. Last is our lettuce. Lettuce is pretty neutral. Almost doesn't even really matter where it is in the sandwich. That's why I put it towards the top. Another reason why I also put some of the sauce in the top is that way it actually sticks and holds it in place when you lay it on top. Kind of grabs the lettuce and keeps it in place, or whatever else you happen to have on the top. You're almost done, guys. I think it looks pretty good. Under 10 bucks, at home, healthy, and finished. Just like you guys saw it built one piece at a time. That is our personal foot-long buttered garlic sub sandwich. And every one of us can make this for under 10 bucks. It's been a pleasure as always, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so below. Also like me, and I will see you guys next time.